experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
The stage is set. 12 weeks of racing comes down to this, culminates in the final race of the season. Where better to have it than Barcelona, Catalunya, a track that is a staple on the Formula One circuit for the Spanish Grand Prix. Welcome in, this is Racer Nexus. I'm Rob Campbell in the booth with me as usual, the guy who hasn't missed a single FMA GT3 race on Racer Nexus. You can keep that streak alive with the finale here, Richard Swindells. Rich, welcome into Catalunya for the finale.
It's time, Rob. Here we are, the finale. Man, we're really looking forward to this. Been an exciting season. We got some championships on the line tonight.
We certainly do. There you see the track information. A circuit Barcelona, Catalunya, just outside Montmello, Spain. 16 corners on the Grand Prix layout with the extra chicane. That it's one of those love it or hate it track layouts, I guess. Either you're a big fan or you're not. I prefer the no chicane just because I end up hitting it, wrecking, and usually ends up my race.
I like the chicanes.
82 degree track temp. Going to be a perfect evening here, and I say evening as it may look a little sunny out there right now, but eventually we're going to be moving into dusk and maybe a touch of darkness by the time the race comes to a head. So let's take a look at where we've been and where we're going here, Rich. There you see the 12 weeks, or I guess 11. This is the 12th week. The 11th weeks that have got us to this point, round 12. 15 minutes extra tonight. Usually 45-minute race for the grand finale. We're going to throw an extra 15 minutes on the end, force these drivers to put a little more strategy in play, Rich.
Yeah, not only double points tonight, 15 minutes extra. And where we've been has been shown, and where we're going. We're going on vacation for a few weeks, and then we'll be back for the next season as we take a look at Chase Matsko having a little bit of a spin. No big deal. But tonight's format, they've already done their practice. They've got 3 laps of qualifying, and then we've got a 60-minute double points race to decide the championship.
It should be interesting. And speaking of the points, why don't we go take a look and see how the points are shaping up coming to this one. We see Marshall Crocker Jr. Once the drop weeks have factored in now, he is back on top of Brock Norris. Only 5 points separating those two drivers. Alex Jacobson still something to play for there in third place, only 29 points back. So anything could happen here in the pro side. What's it look like in Pro-Am, Rich?
Yeah, Pro-Am, Fernando Rosario. Commanding lead, but a really good close battle for second place between is that Jed Baranko? Is that Anthony Baranko? And Jacob Mars.
The producer
I think that would be that'll be Anthony Baranko and Matt Mars. I'm going by last names here, folks. So a really close battle, and not far behind in fourth is Jay Davis. So we got a couple of names a little off, folks, but the last names seem to be correct. So we'll go with them.
That's what happens when you let AI do some work for you, Rich. It can't be trusted. So, but over on the AM
it's
side,
not too smart.
On the AM side, we see Dustin Wells, who's led the AM class the majority of the season, had a commanding lead at one point in time. It's only 3 points over Alex Berger, and only 24 points back from him is Cody Deek, and he's only 27 back of Dustin Wells. So things still pretty tight in both of our top class and in our third class here, Rich. So we'll see how that works out. But then over on the team side, we see FR Racing has jumped up ahead of everybody else by only 1 point ahead of Iron Horse Motorsports, and then Threshold Motorsports only 2 points back of them. So teams championship definitely in play here. Basically, whichever one of these guys finishes ahead of the other is going to wrap up the teams championship tonight.
Yeah, with double points night, it's man, it's going to be exciting. 60 minutes of action to decide it all, folks. We take a look here. I'm guessing, who is that? Is that Matt Mars in a Mercedes? I'm guessing, just because that's what his car usually looks like. Bright. Oh, Travis Roberto making a reappearance here, and right now he's having himself a good race. Alex Barry, he had himself a solid race last week as an introduction, but unfortunately an early jump start cost him his victory. So looking for a little revenge in the final race of the season.
Yeah, we'll see if he's able to get himself his actual first win here tonight, Rich. Unfortunate. One of those things where, you know, every league has their own set of rules and regulations and you got to follow it. One of them here at FMA is start in second gear and you got to wait for that green light. He got a little bit of a jump. He got that knowledge now, though, for this week, Rich. I don't suspect he'll do it again, but you know what? He's starting on the front row again. Last time, I think he started on the second row and got that jump around, it was Matt Mars, or was a pole sitter last week at Long Beach. Yeah. So we'll see if he's able to capitalize this week. Starting on the front row, he doesn't have to worry about jumping around anybody. Just going to get onto that loud pedal once the green flag drops.
Yeah, that's key. It's knowing the rules of the racing series you're running in. So I'm sure he's well versed in that. Here's one of our championship contenders in Brock Morris. I'm not picking a favorite between Brock and Marshall, but Corvette's my favorite car, and Marshall is part of the Racer Nexus team. So we will remain unbiased because I like them both. I want to see some great action for 60 minutes between these two drivers. So far, so good, though. We'll see what happens in about an hour and a bit.
An hour and a bit is correct. I'm going to be interested to see. I didn't get a chance to take and see if they changed the fuel limit at all, Rich, if they're still going to be able to make it on the one stop or if they're going to have to come in for a second stop. That could put a whole interesting strategy play in the race too, as well, as we see Matt Mars right now on board with him. A whole new paint scheme this week, Rich. He's gotten away from the candy-coated schemes you love to see.
Yeah, just bugging you, Matt. You always put on a show, but man, you know, sometimes I get hungry, especially when we get late at night, folks. We appreciate you staying up late watching us this evening. We had a little bit of satellite issues. Our satellite we reserved was a little delayed, and but we're here now. We're ready to race. We're ready to broadcast, and here's one of our in-car cameras. That's Marshall Crocker Jr. I think that's the first time we've seen him on cam.
It is. He sent me a message earlier today, so he was finally getting his cam set up for the finale. Speaking of which, we got a number of drivers sharing their cams. I wish these guys were sharing their cams all season, Rich, but see if we can get them all up on screen here. I believe we got 7 of them last count. So there you go. You got Anthony Sorrentino on the top left, Marshall Crocker Jr. on the top right, Sasha Andrick just below Crocker Jr. with Alex Berger to his left. And then to the bottom right, that's Matt Mars. And then who do we have on the far left? That's Chase Matsko in the vertical picture there. And then Jacob Dick going to round out our 7 drivers sharing their cams on the bottom. So we'll get them up on screen various times during the show. But you know what? That's more or less it for qualifying. Looks like all of our drivers pretty much got their time in. Everybody's either stopped at the side of the track or just finishing up their lap here, Rich. So with 30 seconds to go, the stage is set for the finale. What are you expecting to see here as far as strategy? Or you think drivers are going to kind of hold back, let the race kind of get settled in before they start to make some moves here? Or are we going to be go from the drop of the green flag?
Ain't nobody waiting for nothing, Rob. It's 60 minutes, and it's gonna be turn 1. I mean, that's always a tricky one here at Catalunya. I love this track, by the way, but turn 1, turn 2 complex. We're gonna see a few cars go off track. Luckily, there's a big runoff area at, the F1 FIA grade track, but we're gonna see some good hard battling, I think, starting from the very first corner.
No doubt. Hi, everything is reset. Qualifying is done. The cars are hitting the grid. Speaking of the grid, let's take a look. Let's see what we got shaping up here on a pole. We got, what is going on here? That is not pole. Let's see if we can get that fixed up here in 1 second. Rich.
Yeah, well, Rob's working on that. We'll take a look at the cars starting to take their lineup here. And it looks like we've still got some issues. So I'm just going to read them off here, folks, for you while Rob's working on the graphics. Starting on pole tonight, Alex Berry. Then in second place on row 1, Travis Roberto. Starting in second row, Marshall Crocker Jr. And his nemesis right beside him in fourth, Brock Morris. In fifth, we've got Jacob Dick. 6th, Alex Jacobson. Then we have Fernando Rosario, our Pro-Am leader and presumed champion. 8th place, we've got Tony Sorrentino. 9th, we've got Chris Lashbrook. And in 10th, Chase Matsko.
And Jeremy Eschlin and Matt Maher is going to round out the first page of drivers here. And sorry, that's not right either. What is going on here tonight? Rich with the timing and scoring. There we go. Aaron Hatter and Sesh Andrick going to start in 13th and 14th with Dustin Wells and Jody Nielsen in 15th and 16th place. 17th, 18th going to go to Alex Berger and Jacob Williams, Adam Lowe and Nick Tucker. Going to round out our top 20.
Yeah, we got more, folks. We got Aaron Stevens in 21st, Jay Davis in 22nd, Kyle Mavis in 23rd, and Keith Shepard in 24th. 25th, Mark Ossier. 26th, we've got Cody Deek. And not qualifying today, we've got Alexander Zugig and John Houston.
Potentially 28 cars hitting the grid. We'll see if Zugig and John Houston start from the pits or if they're just going to be spectators out there this evening, Rich. But we got the old trusty iRacing Ford Mustang pace car out leading the drivers around. That's a pace car you don't see too often anymore in iRacing, but we've pulled it out tonight for the finale.
Yeah, and a short pace lap too as they're rounding the coming into the chicane complex here, so that's why the drivers are really heating up the tires quickly. Alex Berry is going to take point here, go on green, start in second gear. Alex, let's get this right this evening. Travis Roberto going to be starting right beside him in second place.
There we go. Pace car is off. The field is heading through the final corner. Alex Bahari, Travis Roberto going to lead them to the line, and then it'll be the quick dash into turn one. A long enough straight here at Catalunya. The driver's going to get it off quite a bit of pace into turn one. We'll see everybody kind of stays in line. Who's going to try and be maybe a late breaker? But there we go. Green flag is out, Rich. The mad dash into turn one. Here we go.
Yeah, coming up too wide. They're going, oh, Roberto, a little nudge there to Barry. Barry's managed to hold on. We got Morris and Crocker Jr. in behind. My goodness, so far so good. Travis Roberto, a little bit of aggressive there, getting into first place. Alex Barry down to second. Third place, Marshall Crocker Jr., Brock Morris, Alex Jacobson. So far so good. But Roberto off to an early jump. Barry not too thrilled. I think he's going to be pushing hard now.
Yeah, we'll see if we know he's got the pace, a ton of pace last week. Put it on pole. See if he kind of dials it in, realizing it's a longer race here than we've been accustomed to. Oh, Eschelman around, or sorry, Jacobson around. I always get the same pain, always throws me off. But Alex Jacobson came into this one third place in pro, barring some catastrophes from Morris and Crocker. Had a chance of taking the pro championship. He's going to fall all the way back into 23rd place.
Yeah, Jacobson had great pace all season long. Not necessarily the greatest luck, so Jacobson moving back through the field. But here's the battle for the Pro Championship. Take a look on board here and the webcam of Marshall Crocker Jr. He's leading over Brock Morris right now. Brock Morris, Marshall Crocker Jr. This is one of the battles we are watching intensely tonight, Rob.
Yeah, it's not a lie there, Rich. Sorry, I was watching somebody was falling down through Timing Tower. I thought it was one of our points leaders, but it wasn't. But as you said, Brock Morris, Marshall Crocker, separated by only a couple points coming to this one in the Pro Championship, doing exactly what they need to do, keeping their competitor in their eyesight. Well, I guess in the mirrors for Marshall Crocker, as he's got Brock Morris all over him. Morris doing exactly what he needs to do. He sees the guy he needs to try and get around. He's got 60 minutes to get himself ahead of Crocker once the checker flag comes out. But as we see there, oh, Barry off again into the gravel trap as he was trying to make the move around Roberto. I'm not sure if there was contact there, but we'll take a look at that in a moment. But you mentioned he wasn't going to be happy earlier on for that issue that they had, Rich. He's definitely not going to be happy now.
Yeah, it looked like he had just quickly or briefly assumed the lead, but then quickly off track and sideways. We'll look back a little later on once the action died. Well, the action died down enough here. Take a look at this move here, going into the turn one section, and yeah, you know, Roberto had nowhere to go, and Barry just kind of sent it in there, and contact was made, and unfortunately paid the price. So, you know, take a look at the shopper cam here, and yeah, Roberto was just driving his line, and Barry kind of drove into the side of him, and back end came around on him.
Yeah, best laid plans didn't work there. Oh, Brock Morris almost into the back of Marshall Crocker there. Had to check up a little bit.
It's got great brakes. Got great brakes.
But while they battle, that's letting Jacob Dick get up into the battle too as well. So we'll see if he's got something to offer those two drivers. Jacob Dick joined this season about halfway through. He's had a good set of races since he's been in the league, Rich. I'm wondering if maybe if he would have been from the very start, if potentially he might have been up battling in the points championship for the pro side too as well.
Well, he's got the Verstappen GT3 paint job, so I would think so. I mean, you got to. If you're, oh, look at this action here. Side by side, little door banging going on, folks. We're going through the chicane. This is why we like the chicane. A little more passing opportunities as opposed to the full out. Or this is why I like the chicane, I'll say. I guess we're taking a look at these cars, nose to tail, coming down into the very long straightaway here, downhill at Catalunya.
You see Kai Shepard, one of the new drivers, showing the nose to the inside of Adam Lowe, and then backed in, trying to force a mistake from Lowe, but he didn't bite. Shepard going to have to regroup and try and find another way around him there. But, you know, we've got probably about 10 drivers separated by only half a second here, Rich. So it's tons of battles up and down the field. Chase Matsko, new paint for him, and in the McLaren. We're not used to seeing Chase in the McLaren. Normally it's the Mercedes and the Mustang we see him out in there. But sharp looking chrome paint job on that McLaren.
Is that camo chrome, or is Chase just, you know, he's just going a totally different direction here at the end of the, so I guess we can call that camo chrome. And we appreciate that, Chase. Thank you very much for sharing the webcam. Folks, you want to get your webcams in, links are in the Discord. So for next season, if you've got them there, you're more likely to get some screen time than if you don't. Just being a little honest with you. And yeah, Chase Matsko, part of Team Admin Advantage, who've had a solid effort this season, Rob.
Yeah, they didn't start off too well. We ragged on them a little bit to start the season off, where the admins should have been, we thought, maybe trying to lead the way. They've got themselves up towards the sharp end of the field. They're battling with a couple of teams for top 5 position, but you know, as we said off the top, the teams championship, only a couple points separating them there, so a lot up for grab, even for the drivers that aren't necessarily in the drivers championship for their class. They can still try and pull home points for their team.
Yeah, that's for sure. Just take a look here at Chris Lashbrook, the Aussie driver, staying up well into the morning hours. He wasn't sure if he's going to be able to hang on, but so far so good. Right now, he's in 9th place overall. Chris Lashbrook, that's where he started, in the Merc.
And one of the few drivers still running in the same place they qualified in. Tony Sorrentino is just ahead of him in 8th place, another one of those drivers too. They're following Chase Matsko around. Matsko up 3 spots, so he's showing some pace, so probably not the wrong choice here to stay tucked in behind them, see if maybe Chase can drag them up into the battle. But they've got Alex Bahari up ahead of him. He's had a bit of an adventure here tonight. Still holds the award for the best profile picture in the league, though. That I can't help but laugh every time.
In the business.
I can't help but laugh every time I look at it. But it's a heck of a portrait there. But Dustin Wells, one of our AM championship battlers, he is in behind Aaron Hatter and Sasha Andrick just up ahead of him. So Dustin Wells needs to stay ahead of Cody Deek to lock in that championship, doing exactly what he needs to right now, with Alex Berger just in behind him, who's the 2nd place in AM championship. See Berger looking to the inside of Wells, didn't make the move, but he, again, just like Morris, knows what he needs to do. He's hit the driver he's trying to chase down directly in front of him, so he can keep an eye on that competitor the whole race.
Well, that's for sure. You really got to know where your competition is if you want to have a chance, and not knowing where they are. I mean, we're not here on week 1 or week 2, folks. This is a week 12. It's now or never, and so far so good. Everybody who is kind of in contention and knows where their competitor are. Take a look at Alexander Berger in that beautiful Porsche livery. I love that livery, Rob.
He's got the old Pfaff livery with the threshold Motorsports logos on the side. He's got his teammate Alex Jacobson, who we saw slide solo spin early on. He's fallen down 10 spots. He's trying to get back around. So I know he probably wants to get around his teammate Berger as he is trying to battle for the Pro Championship, but he knows his teammate is trying to battle with Dustin Wells. Just ahead of him is Sue Wells making the move on the inside of Aaron Hatter. Oh, and then Hatter going to get into the back and he's going to lose his front bumper. Berger has to take evasive maneuvers not to get into the back of two of them, but that's going to allow Dustin Wells to move up ahead. But Wells going to have a little bit of damage on the back end of that Lambo. I'm not sure if that's going to hamper his top speed at all. With the Lambo being a mid-motor car, it shouldn't hurt as much as if, say, it was the Porsche that got rear-ended there. But we'll see once he gets on the straight. Maybe that's all Alex Berger needed to potentially try and catch and make the move around Dustin Wells.
Yeah, we'll see. Time will tell. But oh, look at this good tight racing here. Catalunya is delivering tonight. Alex Jacobson kind of on a recovery mission again. If there's one thing Alex does have experience with, it's doing recovery runs, Rob. And right now, he's trying to move up as quickly as possible. Dustin Wells next on the agenda.
And behind them, Hatter and Berger still battling. It's not what Berger wants to see, as it's allowing Dustin Wells to pull ahead. But then picture in picture, we see Alex Bahari. He's making the move on Rosario. Tried to make the move on the outside. Rosario going to hold on to him, but Fernando Rosario well ahead of the rest of the Pro-Am class right now, sitting in 5th place. Matt Mars, our second highest placed Pro-Am driver, back in 10th place. So Rosario doing what he needs to do, try and maximize his points all. But this battle between Berger, Hatter, and now Kyle Mavis up into the battle, it's not going away anytime soon.
No, definitely not. Kyle Mavis has shown some really good pace all season long as well. And right now, he's up 6 positions on the day. So on a hard charge is Mavis hunting down Hatter. Berger really wants to get going, getting clear of these guys, because he's really looking to catch up to Dustin Wells.
And there we see Alex Berger working at his sim rig. It kind of looks like he's doing a little bit of call center work at the side. I don't know what it is. That headset in the background with the cat in the background just kind of looks like he's maybe a State Farm Claims Department or something. Yeah, this is Alex Berger with State Farm Claims. How may I help you? Sorry, hold on. I got to pass this guy. We'll get to your claim in a minute. But he's feeling a ton of pressure from Kyle Mavis. But thank you, Alex, for sharing your webcam this evening.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's a Porsche driver. I mean, it's not like he's driving a Mustang. He looks like a Porsche driver in that shot there. So, yeah, thanks again, Alex. So, Alex Berger continuing on. He's up 2 positions. Dustin Wells and next on the agenda, but Dustin Wells right now is just over 2 seconds ahead of him, and Kyle Mavis from Iron Horse Motorsports up 7 positions, so they're looking to get high. On the inset, we've got Tony Sorrentino, 8th place, where he started. He's on the hunt. He's got Chris Lashbrook in behind him, closing in quickly, but Chase Matsko up ahead. Ooh, I missed something there, Rob. What did I miss?
A little bit of contact between Mavis and Berger on the straight. I thought for a second it was going to go awry, but thankfully they were both able to keep going. It was it must have been mostly netco, because it looked like Mavis's fender was inside Berger's door for about a half a second or so. Normally that ends up in tears for both those drivers, but they're going to continue on. But I think we have word from chat that is Stebow. I think it's Stebow the cat with Alex Berger in the background. So shout out to Stebow.
Oh, Bert from State Farm. He's not. There we go. We got official confirmation, Rob. This is so far so good. We're going back up near the front here, folks. Not all the way to the front. Travis Roberta's got the lead. We're going back for the season championship pro battle. Marshall Crocker Jr. continuing to hold off Brock Morris. We're about 12 minutes into this 60-minute race. 60 minutes, Rob. Is my voice going to last? I guess it will. We'll do our best here. We got Brock Morris, Marshall Crocker Jr. They've been putting a show on all season long, folks. Let's make this one more. Regarding pit stops, Rob, we're not sure on the fuel. What do you think about tires? You're more of a GT3 guy than I am. Are they going to take all 4 here finally?
I'm not sure. We didn't take a look at the weather earlier on, but let's take a look at it now and see. So the track temp, 78 degrees Fahrenheit. That's only going to continue to drop as the sun sets. So you know what? 60 minutes is plenty of time on a set of tires, although Catalunya can be a little tough on the left side. You got a lot of high speed sweeping right-hand corners, which is going to use up the left side. So, you know what, depending on the fuel load they're taking tonight, I would probably take left sides if I was going to take anything, but it is going to throw the balance off for a couple laps until it gets, you know, kind of neutralized again. So we'll see what kind of strategy plays. Again, it's going to factor into how much fuel they're going to have to take and how much time they're going to be in the stall, but that would be my strategy. Some cars are going to be a little better than others. The front engine cars, as in the Mustang, the Mercedes, they're going to wear a little more on those front tires. They're going to be pushed a little more, where the, you know, the mid-motor cars could easily go to 60 minutes with the original set of tires.
So you're saying the Ford versus Chevy, the Chevy's got the advantage on the tires, is your opinion. Take a look here at Chris Lashbrook, still battling with Tony Sorrentino right now. Lashbrook having himself a solid effort, but both drivers remain where they started, 8th and 9th place, battling nice and close though.
They are. It looks like they're kind of working together to try and move up through the field. They've lost Chase Matsko a little bit as he's starting to pull away from them, but the guy in behind them is slowly catching into him. As we said, sat it on pole last week in Long Beach, had a bit of a rough start of the race, fell back, and it just kind of spiraled down from there. But he always shares his camera week in, week out. He's got it's like multicam set up here tonight. He's got the point of view plus the face cam in the back. But he's been the organizer of the last couple seasons. He's the guy that brought us on board here, Racers Nexus, and you know, so hats off to Matt. He's had a hell of a season in the Pro-Am class, and we thank him for bringing us on board, and we'll see how his season progresses here in the last race. He's got himself in the last spot in the top 10, second in class, so good start to him. And you don't know about this, Rich. You heard about some awards. You saw the awards in the Discord where the drivers voted on a number of different things. We'll go through some of those as the race goes on. I have all the secret ballot information. We'll touch on who the winners were as the race goes on, and once we get to about the mid part of the race, as things settle down a little bit.
I'm gonna try and guess a spoiler. I'm guessing Chris Lashbrook won at least one award this season, but that's all I know, folks, and that's just based on broadcasting all 12 races this season. But we're gonna go back onto live racing, not talking about spoilers, not talking about the awards. Taking a look here at Brock Morrison, the Kettering University Corvette. I mean, this is just this is the battle you want to see on week 12, when the championship's going to be decided by basically who finishes ahead of who. It's Morris, it's Crocker Jr., and then in the AM category, it's Dustin Wells and Alexander Berger. We got Alex Jacobson in between them, but right now it's not out of touch. So that said, Kyle Mavis now just get by Alexander Berger. So Berger's going to have to do a little more work to close that gap down if he wants to retain and have a chance at beating Dustin here. Dustin Wells got off to a huge start early in the season. Alexander Berger closed it down really, really well with some solid racing the second half of the season.
Yeah, we see Mavis and Berger really using a lot of curbs coming out of the chicane, which those are some massive curbs out there. I don't know how they hit them with the Formula One car. Actually, I should say they don't hit them with the Formula One cars. If they do see them hit them when F1 stops by, it spells disaster for those drivers. So I'm kind of surprised that they are so massive, with it being a FIA Grade 1 track. But we've sorted our timing tower by classes here now, so you can keep an eye on the battles in class versus where they are on track. We'll go back to the overall standings there in a minute, but you can see for the top spot in AM, we got a battle between Wells and Andrick. Unfortunately, Berger, he's been tied up here with Kyle Mavis for a number of laps. He's fallen back now 8 seconds for top spot in that class. But you can see Crocker Jr. and Morris, the pro class battle for top spot. They're still separated by 8/10 as they've been virtually since the drop of the green flag. And then in our Pro-Am class, Fernando Rosario, who's kind of been the man of the Pro-Am class ever since Alex Jacobson got promoted into pro about 3 or 4 weeks into the season.
Yeah, and I predict him, assuming he returns next season, I predict that Fernando Rosario will not be in Pro-Am next season, Rob. He's certainly demonstrated a lot of pace, and with a dominating performance in the class, Fernando Rosario certainly has had himself a solid season. I wish I had a season like that. I wish I had a race like he's had many races as he goes down the start-finish line, to cross the start-finish line, I should say. Starting lap 10 here. We're almost 18 minutes into this race, and so far, everything's turning out kind of the way I expected. But one thing I didn't expect was Travis Roberto to get out to an early jump. As we take a little further back here, Dustin Wells, once he went back to this kind of generic Lambo paint scheme, he's come alive again, Rob.
Yeah, he's got a battle for top spot in the AM right now with Sasha Andrick just ahead of him. And then we got Jacobson still trying to make his way back up to the front. He's not going to show as much patience with these two drivers. He's not teammates with either one of them, but does respect that they are battling for a class win here. But he's not going to pass up the opportunity to make a move around these two of them. But it looks like this is a heck of an equal battle here between Wells and Andrick. It's about the third corner in a row. They went side by side here through with the Grello Porsche of Andrick. And then, as you said, that generic paint scheme of the Lambo of Wells. We know Wells has a little bit of damage on the back bumper after that contact he had earlier on, but it doesn't seem to be hampering him too much.
Well, it doesn't at all. Dustin Wells, he knows what he has to do to retain this championship, and right now he's doing everything he has to. Alex Jacobson looking a little impatient. No, not now. Gives it a try, gives it a look, but that's all it is. Sasha Andrick, Dustin Wells, Alex Jacobson. This is our closest battle on track. Looking at the alternate lines, Jacobson looking left, looking right, looking everywhere, trying to get by, and so far Dustin Wells doing a great job of holding him off.
Yeah, we'll see how long he can hold off Jacobson and try and battle with Andrick at the same time. It's hard to look at your windshield and your mirrors at the same time, Rich. Generally, one thing's got to give, but Sasha Andrick, another one of our in-car camera cars, so you can see him full concentration level behind the wheel. He's got nothing better to do than focus at the windshield. Doesn't need to really pay much attention to his mirrors there. Just needs to keep Wells in behind him, covering off the inside move. Wells going to have to try and find another way around, but I think probably about this point in time, Alex Jacobson probably getting a little impatient, really wants to get around these guys.
Well, I would think so. Jacobson falling down early on, and Jacobson obviously demonstrating he's got great pace. But you can't use all that pace when you're kind of stuck in a train, and right now, that's where he sits. But Dustin Wells doesn't really care. It's like, I know I wouldn't care. If you're behind me, you got to earn your way by. Dustin Wells doing a great job. Now he's applying more pressure to Sasha Andrick. So right now, these two Pro-Am drivers have themselves a good battle with Alex Jacobson in behind. Take a look on board with Dustin Wells. Dustin Wells coming up through... looks like this turn 9 here, going around the sweeping right-hander. This is a little tricky section of the track here, Rob. Always like this, coming diving down here. Then you got the sharp left-hander, and it's twisting around back uphill. It's more than 90 degrees. This leads to the final little section here, a little left, a little right, and then you're going to be entering the chicane shortly. So coming around to finish lap 12 are these drivers.
We'll keep an eye on that battle, but we got another one here between Adam Lowe in the, I believe that's red or orange. I think it's red and black Ferrari. Jody Nielsen in the purple and black Mercedes, and then new driver Kai Schappert in the Ferrari in behind. So Nielsen, the Mercedes, and the Ferrari sandwich. This is the battle within the Pro-Am class for 18th, 19th, and 20th overall. Oof, I see Schappert really swinging it out wide. He's going to try and work back over to the inside. Spread's not trying to pick up any draft off Nielsen to potentially make a move into turn 1. Unless he's going to have to try and send the send of all sends here, Rich. But as we say that, we got a bat change for the lead here in AM class, as well as has found a way around the outside of Andrick. Andrick can try and late break, but this could be Jacobson's opportunity to move inside. But he can't. Andrick's still there blocking him off, so Alex Jacobson probably fuming under that helmet.
I love it, Rob. You know, sometimes I've been in both positions. You try for one pass, and if you don't make it, you lose a spot instead of gaining a spot. There, nothing changed hands, but man, oh man, anything's possible here with how tight these drivers are racing. What's really impressive is nobody's touched anybody, but up a little further ahead, Brock Morris continuing on, but Brock Morris getting some pressure now from Alex Barry. And Marshall Crocker Jr. is almost a second up the road. So we've got 37 minutes left. They're going to have to stop for fuel, maybe tires. See how everything shakes out once they do that. I don't know when they're going to do that, folks. It's a little different from here. Oh, no. Jacobson off into the grass. Jacobson losing a couple more positions, unfortunately.
Yeah, it looked like Sorrentino went off too as well. So a couple of the drivers who we normally see calm, cool, and collected each week struggling a little bit here as the race goes on. We saw Dustin Wells kind of pull over and let Jacobson through. He finally figured he had enough of the pressure from Jacobson, let him through, and then focus on Andrick. And Jacobson, in his attempt to try and get back up to the front, quickly and promptly put it off track. But Alex Bahari has caught Morris and Crocker Jr. He's already got around Brock Morris. Not sure if that was strategy maybe for Brock Morris. Let him go by, try and save a little fuel here. Potentially try and get around Crocker Jr. through fuel strategy. We'll see how that plays out. But Bahari now going to be trying to push forward, try and chase down Crocker Jr. He's still probably a little hot under the collar still, Rich. A couple of rough laps to start this one. One of them, I'm going to say probably his own fault, and the second one probably not all that happy. Or sorry, the first one probably not all that happy with Roberto, and the second one I'm going to say was more or less a mistake on his part. But he's got himself back up to third. Can he get around Marshall Crocker Jr.? Will Crocker Jr. try and hold him up, or will he realize that you know what? Don't take the chance on something happening. Holding a Bahari in behind him. You're in the championship fight. Let him by, and then focus on just keeping Morrison behind you.
Yeah, I like what Brock did there. He gave that little, didn't put up too much of a fight, but he stayed in draft range. His key is stay in draft range. Maybe Barry will help pull you up to Marshall Crocker Jr. It'd be very interesting to see, and Barry on a hunt right now. He's got the fastest lap of the race. He's got the fastest lap of the race, and that was the last lap, folks. So Alex Barry on a charge and looking for a big recovery here. He's only just over 4 seconds off the lead. Travis Roberto's got about 4 seconds on Marshall Crocker Jr. Marshall Crocker Jr. well within the sights of Alex Barry, and he's pulled Brock Morris right along with him. So now we've got a 3-car battle for second place.
Yeah, we'll see what kind of strategy works out there. Let's go back to this AM battle where Wells now back on the rear bumper of Andrick. Berger falling back a little bit in third place. There's Kyle Mavis. Berger now sitting back about 8 seconds back of that battle. A little bit of damage maybe on the front of his car, but you know what? He could be going to a strategy play here, Rich. If I was watching my relative and watching those two guys up ahead jockey for position, as much as you've seen them popping back and forth from one spot to the other, you can see on the timing tower, they're constantly going back and forth, one ahead of the other. And all it takes is one slip up from one of those drivers, and they end up in the kitty litters. We've seen a number of drivers have that happen to them this evening. He just cruises up, gives them the little slow wave on the way by. Thanks, guys. I'll just catch you at the checker flag.
Yeah, it could be strategy. And the other thing to bear in mind is, unlike most races, this 60-minute race tonight, they do have one faster pair available, the drivers do. So, if Alex has a little bit of damage, he can get that fixed up at his pit stop and just keep going around now and give it full power. But regardless, even if there's no issues, Alexander Berger doing a great job this evening and all season long. So solid race effort. Dustin Wells, it just has him by about 6 seconds. So unfortunately for Alex, it's not to be right now, but still lots of time remaining.
Yeah, with the extra 15 minutes, still plenty of, I almost said drama. I don't want to say drama. We don't want to see drama, but plenty of...
Yes, we do. Yes, we do, folks.
Plenty of strategy is what I meant to go with there. Left to play out. Who knows what's going to unfold here. But one of those drivers I mentioned early on, that where could he have been if he would have been here the whole season? Jacob Dick. He's been, fairly steady since he's joined the league. He's sharing his cam as well. This evening looks like he's even got the matching shirt to his livery there. Rich, he's got a Red Bull Racing shirt on there, matching his Verstappen.com paint job. He is a dedicated Red Bull fan. Love to see it. I'm not a Red Bull fan myself, but I love to see the dedication. Hats off to Jacob Dick.
You know what's really funny, Rob, is I'm a big Max Verstappen fan, so I guess that means I'm a Red Bull fan, but I drink Monster Energy. I don't drink Red Bull. Hey, I'm a man of many tastes, none of them good. So, Jacob Dick, thank you very much for putting the webcam on and representing the colors well. You've had a great, we'll call it second half of the season or first half for you. Take a look on board here, or not on board. We're going to follow along with Anthony Sorrentino. We call him Tony here, folks. Tony Sorrentino following along, applying pressure to Jeremy Eshelman. Tony, yeah, there we go. There we go. He's got the Spider-Man gloves, it looks like. If I'm seeing that right, I don't know. There's that fishnet. I'm not sure, folks. It's getting late. I'm getting delirious. I'm an old man. What can I say?
You got the old man part, but I don't know. It's a camera angle, but that angle makes his hands look massive. He's got like the Hulk hands there, like Hulk smash. Hulk, yeah. But right now he's putting a ton of pressure on the back of Jeremy Eshelman. That's a battle in Pro Class, 7th, 8th in Pro Class, 9th, 10th overall. So still plenty of time for those two drivers who have been staples in FMA GT3 since we've picked them up here on Racers Nexus. So hope to see them both back again next season. And you know what? The Alpha Reinforcing Company is going to be sponsoring the GT3 season next season, and I believe, Rich, that was Jeremy Eshelman's sponsor this season.
Yeah, that's Jeremy Eshelman's family's business. They sponsor 2 races this season, and coming back for a whole season next season. Take a look here. Jeremy Eshelman. Unfortunately for him, though, on the races he sponsored, I'm going by memory, Rob, they weren't his best results, and maybe giving the whole season will do a little better. Anthony Sorrentino going by. Travis Roberto into the pits. We're about the halfway minute. Brock Morris, he's into the pits. Oh, look at everybody coming into the pits. So top 4 drivers into the pits. We'll see Jacob Dick. Yeah, everybody's coming in. Jacob Dick's in as well. So I'm wondering if it's a really short pit window. If I don't know, or if everybody's just saying, I don't want to lose any chance here. Let's come in when everybody. We see Crocker Jr. going up on the jack stands. Chris Lashbrook says, hey, I'm in Australia. We're using liters. We're not using gallons. I can go a little further than you guys. I got a lot more liters than you got gallons. So Chris Lashbrook going around for another one, takes the lead, and Chris Lashbrook saying, hey, I'm here. And I'm having a great time out here. Please, please, Chris, let's hope you've got enough fuel to go around one more lap.
Yeah, I wonder, Rich, because sometimes you have these tracks. Barcelona is one of those tracks where the start-finish line is actually at the start of the straight, and most of the pit stalls are after the start-finish line, which can throw your fuel calculator in a little bit of a mess because it's calculating how many laps of fuel you have, which it doesn't account for where the line is. You cross that line, yeah, you had that lap of fuel, but your pit stall might be all the way down at the far end of the straight, and you're spittering and sputtering heading down pit road. So hopefully Chris Lashbrook has taken that into account here. We don't see him running out.
Yeah, he's the only one. The only one. I think him and Jacob Williams, the only 2 drivers who did not stop. And now Jacob Williams is in. So the only person who did not come in for fuel was Chris Lashbrook. So everybody knows something he doesn't, or he knows something everybody else doesn't, but we'll find out. One thing I find really interesting, Rob, our amateur battle between, oh boy, Dustin Wells and Alexander Berger is still going on here. Here's Lashbrook. He made it. He made it. He may be coasting on fumes, but he made it. But anyways, our AM battle, we've got, they both brought their own fan clubs into who are watching online and in the chat channel. So we've got some shout outs and people wanting to see some more of Simbo the cat, and we'll get back to that a little later on when that seems to be the star driver of the show so far this evening, folks. So Dustin Wells, though, right now 13th place. He's got himself 2 positions over Alexander Berger. So, oh, here we go up to the front here. Pass for the lead. Pass for the lead. Sorry, that's not a pass for the lead. That's Alexander Berry. Alex Berry and Brock Morris. Brock Morris tucking in behind. Marshall Crocker Jr. down to 4th after the pit cycle. So Crocker Jr., big loser there between the 3 of them.
Big loser. I'm going to tell him you said that, Rich.
Well, I'm just egging him on, egging him on.
But yeah, that's Alex Bahari moving himself back up, but Brock Morris has gotten out ahead of Marshall Crocker Jr. So as you said, that's a potential shakeup in the pro points, but still plenty of time left to go in the battle to see who actually brings home the championship in pro. But I mentioned, I kind of teased, we had some awards that were voted on by the drivers in the league Discord. We'll go through a couple of them now. And what do we got? We got 5, we got about 9 awards that they voted on. So let's do the first 3 here, Rich. Driver of the Year. Any guesses who the league might have voted on their Driver of the Year?
Richard Swindells? No? Oh, no. Driver of the Year?
No.
Oh, man. Brock Morris?
No, it is
it
not Brock Morris, but it is one of the drivers he's battling with. They voted Marshall Crocker Jr. Driver of the Year. So hats
Look
off
at that,
to
a
him.
Racer Nexus alum.
Yeah, we might have had a little bit of pull on that. I didn't vote, but maybe you got the little bit of pull. He does do the FMA broadcast on Thursday night, so maybe that might have factored in a little bit. But another award we got here, the Next Man Up Award. I'm not sure exactly what they factored into that Next Man Up, but Alex Jacobson going to bring home that award for the Next Man Up Award. There's a couple other ones here. There's a couple drivers that are featured twice. And Marshall Crocker Jr. got a second award here for Mr. Consistency Award winner. You know what? I think that probably could have went to a couple of guys. He, Brock Morris, Fernando Rosario. You know what? Those are probably 3 of the most consistent drivers in the league. But Marshall Crocker Jr. going to take that award too as well. And let's do one more before we go back to the live action. The most sportsmanlike driver on track. Any guesses on that one, Rich?
Oh. Matt Mars?
It was not Matt Mars. It's unfortunately a driver who had a rough start to this one. Is this man right here, Jacob Williams, voted by his peers as the most sportsmanlike driver on the track.
Well, Jacob, you're the sportsman and you're battling hard and you're still in it. So down 5 positions, a little tough start, but Jacob, your fellow competitors appreciate your sportsmanship. Hey, there's a guy I think that may have won an award that we may find a little later. Chris Lashbrook. Chris Lashbrook, the Aussie driver, our lone Aussie driver in 6 overall, up 3 positions. And Fernando Rosario, whoa, right behind him. Taking the curbs here.
A little bit of a rail grind there from Chris Lashbrook. Almost lost the back end. Tony Hawk would be proud of that one.
I was just going to say Tony Lashbrook Hawk there. And my, oh my, we got Chase Mitsuko. And oh, man, popping a wheelie and then getting it back up on 3 wheels on the next part of the chicane. That costs Chase a tremendous amount of time. Hopefully no damage to the floor pan in that car.
Chase throwing caution to the wind. His crew be damned. He doesn't care if they have any body repairs to do after this race. Rich, it's the final one for the season. They get a couple weeks off before they come back again. But Chase Matsko, nice race for him. Up 2 spots, showing a ton of pace. Maybe the McLaren should have been the car he was driving all season.
Yeah, Chase has had some solid results, and not necessarily sure if he should have been in the pro category, but done himself quite proud. Anyways, take a look a little further back in the pack here. Not that far. 10th place, Adam Lowe. And not at 10th place. Yeah, we got Adam Lowe going side by side down the track here. Rob, I got some timing and scoring issues. I'm not just at Eshelman. Wow, what
That's
a pace.
Jacobson and Lowe for 16th place. There you go, Rich.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, Jacobson. Wow. Big send. Marc Osier, he had a little issues earlier on, but continues to battle on. He's up 3 positions. He's in 22nd place. Marc Osier, a longtime member here at FMA, doesn't necessarily get all the screen time he deserves, but we appreciate you coming out. He's 7th right now in Pro-Am division, having himself a solid effort so far, but looking for a little more with Cody Deek up ahead.
Yeah, Cody Deek came into this one 3rd in AM class. Probably not the way he was hoping this one was going to go, as he would want to be ahead of Wells and Berger, who are currently first and second in class and well up the track from him. So still plenty of time. Anything can happen. 22 minutes still to go to this one. The sun is starting to set. You never know who's got better vision at night here, Rich. I don't know about you, but I cannot drive at night, especially if it's raining. I just can't see anything.
You know, you got to subscribe to my theory, Rob. If you're having problems seeing and you're driving, drive faster, because then the signs, the braking markers, everything are going to get there quicker, and you make your decisions. Take a look. That is not good, unfortunately. Having a little bit of rough go this evening. Jacob Williams, though, battling on. Take a look here at Chris Lashbrook, currently in 6th place. Lashbrook ahead of Rosario now. He's up 3 positions, and next on the list for him, Jacob Dix. So Jacob Dix almost 5 seconds up the track. So Lashbrook's going to have some have to get on the loud pedal a little louder, because Jacob Dick has been a solid driver. He's okay, just a little bit of curb action there. That Merc's used to doing some all-terrain vehicle type of maneuvers. It's a Red Bull after all.
Let's check in on our battle for Pro Championship. Morris continuing to open up that gap over Crocker Jr. As you mentioned, Crocker Jr. appeared to take tires during his pit stop, Rich, and I don't know if that was the right move, as he lost that position to Brock Morris. It took him a lap or two to get the tires up to operating temp. It's going to take another few more laps before he can really feel the advantage of that over Brock Morris if Morris did not take tires. So we'll see once it equalizes here in a couple laps which way it works out for Marshall Crocker, but it looks like potentially this could have Brock Morris bringing home the Pro Championship. So let's go back a little bit farther here to Rosario, as he's still trying to put some pressure on Lashbrook. That gap closing a little bit. Keep our eye on that. Alex Berger, he's caught up to Jay Davis. Continues to push forward. He's been closing the gap in on Wells. Still sitting at about six and a half seconds between he and Berger. But if he can dispose of Jay Davis here quickly, he potentially could try and chase back down Dustin Wells. But we'll keep an eye on that one too as well. But we got another moment here. Let's go through a couple more of the awards.
Oh, here we go. Let's hear them. It's like being at the Oscars.
So what do we got here? We've got the Hot Lap Hero Award. I guess this would go to it. I guess this would go to a driver who puts in quick quality laps but doesn't seem to have the race pace. Any guesses on this one, Rich?
I think they got the race pace if I'm right on the person, and there's somebody who are down 10 positions. Would it be Alex Jacobson?
It would not. It is a driver. Oh, that probably would have been a good choice. That is not who they voted. It's a driver who unfortunately is not here tonight. He was the original sponsor of the race, but then couldn't make it. Anthony Bronco wins the Hot Lap Hero Award. So congrats to him.
That's also a good choice. Yes, congratulations, Anthony. I know you wanted to be here, but hey, you still got an award even without being here.
We got another one here, the most improved driver. This could go to a number of drivers here this season, Rich, who have not only improved from the start of the season to where we end, also drivers who have improved from season over season. This one could go to a number. Who you liking for this one?
Well, I've said his name once earlier, and it's not biased, folks. It's not like he's the one who hired us or anything, and but Matt Mars has really improved a lot this season, Rob.
You are correct. That award goes to Matt Mars for the most improved driver award. So we got 2 left. We've got the memorable moment of the month. Memorable moment of the season, not the month. I don't think you have any chance of guessing this one, Rich, but it's gone to Chris Lashbrook. It's gone to Chris Lashbrook for flying into space at Watkins Glen. If you didn't catch that one,
for that one?
No, I unfortunately missed that one. I was doing the.
That was fabulous.
A rain race on another night, but yeah, if you head through the the VOD collection and have a look at that one. It is a heck of a trip for Chris Lashbrook. He came from the land down under and he went to the land up there for sure.
Yeah, that was at Watkins Glen, folks. If you're looking for the race on the Racer Nexus Network, take a look at that start to that race. It was horrific. It was a horrific start, and Lashbrook took the brunt of it. Did the big helicopter move and flew over top of cars who were passing underneath him.
And then we got our final award. It's for the Community Member of the Season. I'm not sure how this one was awarded, Rich. I think it was a bit sucking up to somebody here. It may have been somebody in the broadcast booth with me here getting this award, but it goes to Racers Nexus broadcast team. I think that was directed directly at the guy who, as I said, hasn't missed a single FMA GT3 race here on Racers Nexus. So I'm going to say congrats to Richard Swindells for that one, being the Community Member of the Season. We'll quickly put up all the awards winners there. There you can see them all on screen. Again, hats off to all the winners. And we thank you for a great season. We look forward to next season. Go ahead, spill your beans, Rich.
Okay, folks. It wasn't just me. Rob Campbell started Racer Nexus. Matt Mars brought us in here. We had Adam Gladfelter did production for a few races. Rob Campbell for most of the races. Team effort. We thank you. Thanks for sucking up, guys. We really appreciate it. We hope you've been entertained by the broadcast. That's what our job is. We realize the broadcast is mostly for the racers, though we appreciate the family and friends who watch live at home, such as we've got Dustin Wells' family, we've got Alex Berter's family. They still want to see the cat, Rob, so the next time we see Alex on screen, we got to show the webcam, see if the cat's still there.
Yeah, we'll get Steve-O on there. I can confirm. I'm looking at it right now. Actually, it looks, I don't know if I'm looking at this right. It almost looks like the cat is watching TV, Rich. So.
Got bored of the race. Screw this.
We'll get Alex back up on screen here just so maybe somebody could confirm. But that sure looks like the cat is looking out the window or watching TV. I don't know what's going on. But, I like to put the TV on for my dog when we leave and go out somewhere just to keep him company. But apparently Alex Berter's cat, Steve-O, is a TV watcher himself. But love seeing it. Steve-O is on the radio. We love Steve-O, somebody says.
That's awesome.
Love him. Again, thanks to Alex Berter for sharing the cam. We love to see it.
Hey, Rob, just a point of contention. We do have a race going on here, folks, and speaking of racing, Matt Mars, and is that Tony Sorrentino? Yeah, it has to be. He's the only one driving the Aston. Side-by-side action. Way to go, guys. That's what we want to see. Battle hard, week 12. And Matt Mars, the outside. We've got Sorrentino on the inside, side-by-side. Good, clean racing between these two drivers, as always, as what you'd expect. Oh, Sorrentino up the inside. Matt Mars kind of got caught off guard there, I think, a little bit, but they're going to battle side-by-side. Oh, finally Matt concedes a little bit, and Sorrentino goes ahead. But what I was starting to say was Marshall Crocker Jr. 1.2 seconds behind Brock Morris now. He was almost 4 seconds behind just a few laps ago. So this season championship in pro category is not over yet, folks.
Yeah, I mentioned it last time we checked in on them that it's going to take a few laps probably another 4 or 5 laps when I mentioned that for Crocker Jr.'s 4 tires to really start to show their superiority over Brock Morris's original set he had on there, and this is where it's starting to come into play. It was a matter of whether Crocker was going to have enough time to capitalize on that. With 13 minutes to go, he definitely has plenty of time to do it. So the battle for pro, the championship battle is on here. The two drivers who have been duking it out since the start of the season, they went back and forth almost every week. It seemed like one was on top of the point standing, and then the next week the next one was there, Rich. So it's kind of fitting that the two of them are going to come down battling to the end here.
Yeah, it certainly is, and that's what we want to see here. Is the sun is setting here in Barcelona, and right now I think it's about it's almost 9 o'clock at night local Barcelona time. So getting a little dimmer as the race progresses. they're going to finish. It's not going to be too dark, but headlights definitely on. Crocker Jr. on the hunt. Brock Morris, does he have enough tires? Does he enough fuel? Does he have enough to hold off Marshall Crocker Jr.? We're going to find out in, I don't know, the next 12 and a half minutes or so, folks.
Yeah, it's going to be approximately, what do we got, about 7 laps to go here, Rich, to wrap this one up. Still plenty of time for anything to happen. Those two drivers battling. You see Crocker Jr. right there. I'm not sure how long Morris is going to be able to hold him off. Thankfully for Morris, Barcelona, a very high-speed track, a lot of sweeping corners, doesn't have a lot of heavy braking sections, Rich, where you can really throw the car up onside the car ahead of you. Turn 1 and potentially I think it's turn 8, maybe your only great overtaking opportunities here. Otherwise, you got to try and force a mistake with that driver trying to make the overtake on. So we'll see here. It's the age-old Chevy versus Ford battle here. Corvette versus Mustang. Which one will prevail? Brock Morris versus Marshall Crocker.
Yeah, Marshall took 2 seconds longer in his pit stall than Brock Morris. We're assuming he got a little extra tire. We could be wrong. We don't know. We'll find out if we interview either one of them, which I have a feeling we may be later on this evening, and we'll see what they did. But right now, Brock Morris holding up Marshall Crocker Jr. But like you said, we got about 6-7 laps left to see how this Pro Championship is decided, because Travis Roberto's not involved in it. He's in first place with almost a 4-second gap to Alex Bahari. Alex Bahari's got almost 5 seconds on Brock Morris, but the real battle is for third here. Third, Brock Morris. Fourth, Marshall Crocker Jr. Then we got Jacob Dick and Chris Lashbrook in 6th, Chase Matsko in 7th. So, and our amateur champion, Fernando Rosario, sitting 8th place with another solid race.
Yeah, Rosario doing exactly what he needs to do, keeping Matt Mars behind him. 14 seconds is the gap between those two drivers, and another 8 seconds back to Kyle Mavis, currently sitting in 3rd place in class. Let's head over to the AM side of things. We see Dustin Wells lead the way. He's opened up that gap over Berger. So Wells doing what he needs to bring home the championship here tonight in AM. Berger hoping for something to happen, but at this point in time, he's just got to put in the laps. You never know what will happen, but surprising, Sasha Andrick, who we saw battling with Wells, has fallen down to 3rd, and he's fallen 28 seconds back of Dustin Wells. So I'm not sure what happened there. I don't see anything popping up on timing and scoring, Rich, but what looked like maybe a potential AM win here tonight for Sasha Andrick, not working out that way.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened either. I know he had a little off track, but
he's hit
nothing
some damage
significant.
on the front.
Yeah. Oh, I see what happened. I'm taking a look here now. He had a little bit of spin and caught a little bit of a wall there, and that's what happened to Sasha Andrick. A little bit of damage, unfortunately, for him.
He's already got some damage here. He's going to go off track and going to add a little bit on there. Nope, that's another incident. But again, what was looking like a potential nice finish for him, going by the wayside. But back up to the battle for Pro Crocker Jr. Oh, Dustin Wells, Brock Morris's tires starting to scream there now. The back end of that Corvette hurting, and Crocker using the fresher tires just work around the outside of Brock Morris. Morris can't do much, has to relinquish that position. He's going to have to try and hold on here and hope for a mistake for Marshall Crocker.
Yeah, that's it definitely looks like the tires are crying in pain, unfortunately, for Brock Morris. Marshall Crocker Jr. now back up to point. Well, I should say point, but you know what I mean, folks. He's in 3rd place. He's ahead of his competition, Brock Morris. Brock Morris is staying in draft range, though. That's imperative at this stage. Look at the road. It's just glowing red as a hard braking zone coming down into turn 1.
Yeah, heavy onto the binders, using all the braking power those GT3 machines have. We'll see now if Crocker able to pull away from Morris and open up that gap. 7:45 left to go. The lap's starting to click away here. Brock Morris maybe thinking about whether he made the right strategy call when he pit, Rich. Right now, it looks like Crocker Jr. made the right call. I wonder if Morris only took front tires or any tires at all. He was in the pits, in his pit stall long enough that he could took tires, 22.8 seconds. Generally, 22 seconds is a full 4-tire stop in a GT3 machine. So maybe he'll let us know if he joins the booth. He's always been a little coy on letting us know whether he took tires or not, but maybe the last race of the season, he might spill the beans.
Yeah, we may find out. I mean, we had to do some espionage work earlier to see what he was doing. We had to get the old spy cams out in the pit stall, see what the pit crew were doing, because he wasn't giving it up. But Kyle Mavis is having himself a great race. Kyle Mavis, their biggest mover and shaker on the evenings, folks. Up 11 positions. He's on the hunt for Jeremy Eshelman right now. It's Kyle Mavis in 12th, Eshelman in 11th. Good close battle. Only just about a car length separating them.
Yeah, we'll see if Eshelman able to hold him off. Both these drivers in different classes. Eshelman is in our Pro class. Mavis is in the Pro-Am class, currently sitting 3rd in class for Mavis, 9th in class for Jeremy Eshelman. Oh no! Eshelman going to lose the back end of that McLaren and slide off track, but he's able to keep it off the wall, Rich, so just going to lose that one position, but he's going to quickly get himself back on track. But you know what happens when you're the leader, you get out front, you have a fairly substantial lead, Rich, you don't get much TV time. Travis Roberto, a driver we haven't seen in a number of weeks, usually fairly quick when he gets on track, sometimes gets struck with a little bit of bad luck and ends up out of the race early on. But right now he's putting together a bit of a
Deckers or Wreckers, baby.
He's putting together a bit of a masterpiece here tonight in Spain at Barcelona. He's got Alex Bahari, our pole sitter, 3 seconds back from him. Bahari's shown a ton of pace. He's been running consistently about a tenth or two quicker than Roberto each lap, and I think he's going to run out of time to chase down Travis Roberto.
Yeah, I think it's, well, I mean, it's tough to see. I mean, right now, Bahari's making up a little bit of time, but like you said, we're on lap 31. We got 5 minutes left. We got to about 3 more complete laps after this one. So unless Travis makes a mistake, and Travis used to have, I think, the best driver profile pick on the FMA series here, but I think Alex Bahari may have surpassed him, Rob. So there's Travis Roberto. Let's take a look now at Alex Bahari. Who do we pick, folks? This is my vote for my my award. Sorry, Travis, you lost it right now. Alex Bahari's gonna kind of taken over from you, but we'll see. Maybe next season things will be different. So Alex Bahari, 2nd place. Travis Roberto, 1st place. We got Mercedes, we got Ferrari, then we got Ford, then we got Chevy. So top 4 positions, 4 different manufacturers.
You see Crocker Jr. making his way through some lap traffic. That's the 755 of Aaron Siebens. You can just pull over and let them through. But Marshall Crocker Jr. continuing to use the fresher tires to pull away from Brock Morris. Now 1.5 seconds separating those 2 drivers. So we've covered what's going on in Pro class. Let's go back to Pro-Am, catch up with what's going on there with a few minutes to go. Fernando Rosario basically led this class. It's a drop at the green flag, got himself in 8th place overall, leading the way comfortably over Matt Mars. But you know what? Matt Mars, heck of a race here after his disaster that was Long Beach last week. Put it on pole, had that wreck early on, and then it just went south there for him. So nice recovery for him. And you know what? That paint looks sharp under the lights with the little bit of chrome and reflecting on it. So always a nice paint week in, week out for him. And then Kyle Mavis, not too far back, as you see, it looks like Jacob Williams losing the back end in the background there. But Kyle Mavis currently sitting in 3rd place in Pro-Am, as you mentioned, Rich, up 12 spots. So nice run from him. And then over in AM class, Dustin Wells continuing to lead the way over Alex Berter. Although that gap has come down a little bit, but unfortunately it looks like the clock going to be the enemy for Berter. But Dustin Wells, strong first half of the season, a little bit of a rocky midpoint, Rich, but looks like he's put things back together here the last couple of weeks to potentially bring home the AM championship. Alex Berter racing for Stebo the Cat, brought his own fan club into the chat. Steve-O's been the highlight of the race so far, but Berger comfortably in second place, second spot on the podium for him right now. And then Sasha Andrick, that front end of that Porsche looked very angry. A little bit of an adventure here, the back half of the race, but he's still sitting about 6 seconds up on Aaron Siebens, comfortably in the final step on the podium in AM class.
Yeah, it's Steve-O the Cat versus the Big Cheese, and right now the Big Cheese not making a television appearance, but the Big Cheese of Dustin Wells holding off Steve-O the Cat. But solid seasons from both drivers, no matter how this turns out. But our race leader, Travis Roberto, has kind of led this one since the get-go. A little bit of bumping through the first couple of corners of the lap, and then he's kind of checked out right now. But that gap is down to less than 3 seconds to Alex Berry. But Berry's going to run out of time as we take a look at Travis Roberto. Welcome back, Travis, coming around. Looking at Barney saying, do I get the white flag here? Do I get the white flag? Yes, I do. So one more lap to go for Travis Roberto.
White flag is waving. Roberto, 16 more corners to navigate through to take the win in round 12 of this season. Alex Bahari, heck of a recovery run for him. He was down as far as, I think, 11th or 12th at one point in time. Rich worked his way back up into second place. Not going to get that top step on the podium, barring a catastrophic mistake for Travis Roberto up ahead. But Marshall Crocker looks like pit strategy going to prompt him to take the Pro Championship win. A few more corners for him, but hats off to all of our drivers. It's been a heck of a season. If you're looking to join the league, you can find the Discord in the description of the video. They are always accepting new drivers. 3 nights of racing each week, prototypes and GT3s next season on Thursdays. I believe they're going to Gen 4 NASCAR racing on Sundays. And GT3 will be back again on Sundays. But a few more corners to go here for Travis Roberto. Put on a bit of a masterpiece here. I don't know if you want to call it a Picasso or what it is, Rich, but hats off to Travis Roberto. Shown pace from drop of the green all the way to the checkers.
Yeah, that's for sure. Great job by Travis Roberto. Just big mention. We've got battling pets in the chat, Rob. But we got cheering for Steve. Oh, we got cheering for the Big Cheese. But Travis Roberto coming around the final chicane. Travis Roberto lights on. The Mach 10 Motorsports driver making his triumphant return to FMA, getting the fireworks, folks. Travis Roberto coming home to take the checker flag in the race victory. Alex Bahari, second place with a solid recovery run. And our pro champion coming in third, unofficially, is a Marshall Crocker Jr.
Pick up Fernando Rosario into the chicane for the final time for him. He's going to take the win in class, and that should lock up the Pro-Am Championship for him. So, heck of a season for Fernando, the FR Racing driver. Crossed the line and a win for him. Hats off to him. Matt Mars. Strong second half of the season for Matt after a rough start to the season. He's going to come home in second place in Pro-Am class. Kyle Mavis just in behind him, but back to the AM class. We've got Dustin Wells leading the way. He's heading into the chicane for the final time here, Rich. Comfortable lead over Alex Berger. Just needs to navigate through. Don't get wrapped up on these massive curbs. Into the chicane. Come back around. Get those flashes going. Get the razzle-dazzle going. Bring it home for the Big Cheese. And Dustin Wells is going to be your AM champion here at FMA.
Yeah, you know what, Rob? It took me about, I don't know, 2/3 of a season to finally ask, what is the Big Cheese? And I'm glad I did. But Alexander Berger, solid season, Alex. Nothing to be ashamed about. Solid effort here, coming across 16th place. That should solidify him, though, I believe, for second place in amateur.
Yeah, we'll wait for Matt Mars to give us the official points as we wait for a couple more drivers to finish up here, Rich, and make this one official. But you know what? I think Catalunya, it's not one of my favorite tracks, Rich, but I think this setting here, going from sunset to night, the extra 15 minutes, I think it was the perfect combination here to wrap up this season.
You know, the first time I ever saw this track, Rob, was my first year running iRacing. And it was an endurance race. I got notified 2 hours before, hey, can you jump in and help us out on a 24-hour endurance race in a car I'd never driven on a track I didn't even own. And I came to love Catalunya, even though I got up at 4 in the morning after an hour's nap to find out we had crashed out and burned and our race was over. But nothing like that happened here tonight. This was a solid race.
So you're trying to say that the crash wasn't your fault then? Is that what that is?
I was sleeping, man. I was not the one who destroyed our car. One of our European drivers did. I'll just leave it at that.
Uh-huh. We'll go with that. We'll go with that. But let's take a look at our results here for the evening. First up is the pro class, where we see Travis Roberto taking the win over Alex Bahari and Marshall Crocker Jr., Brock Morris, and Jacob Dick going to round out the top 5. Lashbrook, Matsko, Sorrentino, Eshelman, and Jacobson rounding out the class. In Pro-Am, who do we got over there, Rich?
Well, no surprise. He's won the most races of anybody this season, I believe. And that was Fernando Rosario in first place. Matt Mars, another solid finish in second. Kyle Mavis third. Rounding out the top 5s, we got Jay Davis and Adam Lowe.
And our final class of the evening is the AM class, where Dustin Wells takes the win. Alex Berger going to come home in second, and Sasha Andrick going to round out the podium with Aaron Siebens and Cody Deek rounding out the top 5. Jacob Williams, Aaron Hatter, and Nicholas Tucker going to round out the field in AM class. So here we go, Rich.
You know what, Rob? That team's championship, Iron Horse Motorsports came in third and 11th, I believe. So I'm really looking forward to what the league team admin advantage Matt Mars comes up with us for the final season results. But oh my goodness, that's man, it didn't disappoint tonight. The answers will be had momentarily, folks.
The team's point's going to be a little tricky because they have a maximum, I believe it. They have to have one pro-am, and one AM driver on each team. They can't have multiple pros, I believe. They can have as many AMs as they wanted, but they take an average of the finishing position. So it's hard to take and say, like Marshall Crocker Jr. of Iron Horse finished in third, so they get full points haul, versus say FR Racing, where Chris Lashbrook finished where he finished, and Fernando Rosario finished a little higher, and FR Racing came in leading the poll, right? Leading the championship. So it's going to be interesting to see, as you said, but I think FR Racing managed to lock it up. I think the real battle is going to be for second and third place in the team side.
Well, let me get my abacus out, and we'll see what we can calculate, because that's much too complicated. I've only got 4 fingers on one hand and a thumb, and I got socks on, and I just can't get it all done here. Well, that's why we got people, folks.
We got the peoples. Well, let's bring in some drivers to have a chat. We do know that Marshall Crocker Jr. has wrapped up the pro points by virtue of winning the race here this evening, Rich. So we'll get him on the broadcast interview room here to have a chat with him. But while I do that, why don't you find out how Marshall Crocker Jr.'s season went?
Marshall, we're making a presumption that you're not going to get protested and incur a penalty. And man, oh man, congratulations!
Thank you so much, gentlemen. Man, that one feels pretty cool. It's cool the way this turned out. The way we had some guys come back for the last week. Obviously, the way Brock pushed me to the very limit. The way it worked out, I think, depending on how his bonus points worked, if he didn't have an off track, that pass for position there at the end might have actually been the championship. So. Cool, we could settle it on track like that, but holy cow, what a season!
It was exciting. You got jumped in the pits. I mean, you came out 3-4 seconds back. I'm assuming you took all 4 tires.
I did, yeah. I wasn't sure. I was kind of going back and forth pre-race what I wanted to do. Actually, if I had known Brock was going to jump me and Alex in the pits, I would have just stayed out and went on strategy with him. But the way it worked out, I kind of thought, okay, I'm not so much racing Brock, I'm making sure nobody goes between me and Brock, and in that sense, I kind of just wanted the stability that a full set of tires brings rather than the pace. We kind of just kept it 95% most of the way tonight, and that's all you got to do in these situations. But man, had a couple little things gone differently, I would have been the guy on offense tonight, and Brock would have been the guy defending. So really glad for the little things, for the little, the little moments throughout the season. It's kind of nice that the championship means more than just a race where you look back and you think of all the days, I wasn't feeling well, I didn't get time to practice, I came home early from work, all those little moments that may have made the difference. When it's this close, it means an extra little bit when you get it done.
And you won some awards as well this season, not just the Pro Championship. I'm forgetting now already what awards you won, but we did cover them in the broadcast, Marshall. But the excitement of the race, my mind is boggled. And
Mr. Consistency is what he won, Rich, and Driver of the Year.
Well, look at that. Driver of the Year, that's kind of fitting for champion. And Mr. Consistency, what was your worst finish this season? Third?
It was third. I honestly, the thing that was pushing me most, I don't think, maybe I didn't need the spot on Brock there at the end, but since I joined FMA, this was my 15th race in GT3. I'm 15 for 15 on podiums. So I think that one was, it was funny to watch the voting. I was the guy that put the poll up. I wasn't doing very well. And then somebody threw that in the chat. Hey, he's been on the podium all year. Suddenly the votes skyrocketed up. So I appreciate it, though. It means a lot to get that respect from your fellow drivers,
You threw the Benjamins out there, and the votes started coming in. Did they, Marshall? That you had a stellar season. You couldn't have asked for anything better. Are you coming back next season?
100%. I can't necessarily guarantee the full time with only the one drop week. It's tough to make 11 out of 12 on my schedule, but we're going to do the very best. At the very minimum, we're going to make it tough, the same way that Travis and Alex did on us down the stretch this season. Try to take race wins off the championship contenders whenever you can, but you'll see me out. We'll be back. We'll be trying to defend it, and hey, maybe I'll get lucky, have a few things line up, and maybe we'll take another crack at it. But I don't mean to spoil his answer. I think Brock might be part-time as well, so tonight was potentially kind of a last hurrah for this title battle for a little bit, but we'll see. You never know. Life's funny that way.
Well, you had some cheering section in the chat tonight, and they certainly helped cheer you along. Anybody you'd like to thank and maybe make mention of here tonight, Marshall?
100%. Let me start with you guys, because, man, you guys have just done an exceptional job all year. I was so happy everybody fell in line, voted you guys for community member of the season there. You guys have just done a stellar job. Even tonight, even I know there was some stuff we had to move the broadcast back, like that ability that you guys came dialed in. I'm sure it was an A+ product like always, and I think I speak for a lot of us when I say so much of a league like this, so much of the enjoyment is every little moment, every little highlight. To get somebody else's perspective, to get to watch it back, those moments are much more timeless than just the memories of the races. So thank you guys so much, Rob and Rich, and everybody who subbed in this year for all you guys have done. I'm not sure who was watching. I'm sure Anthony was one of them. Anthony Branco, my teammate, him, Kyle Mavis, Jacob Williams. What a fun year, man. I don't think we took home the team title, but we had the best vibes. We had the most fun. They did pretty well in the little individual awards as well. So I love being with them. It wouldn't be the same experience without such fun teammates. Shout out to Alyssa, who I think might have been watching. She supported me all the way through the year and had to listen to my endless rambling about little race stuff that didn't matter. And finally, Brock, man, I want to give him, a shout out to the moon and back. Stuff like this, it's not what it is, to win a championship. You're only as good as the benchmark that you got to clear to get it. Brock is such an exceptional talent. He's such a respectful guy on track. It was nice to even have a clean little battle there at the end, and he's going to get one day if he can rattle a full season off together. And just really great guy. Can't say enough about him. There's a version of this championship I said right when we crossed the line. There's many versions of this that he wins. I just got lucky enough this one happened to be mine.
Well, that was well said, Marshall. We congratulate you on your podium tonight. Kind of boring getting a podium for you, but we congratulate you especially on your championship and your kind words. So Marshall Crocker Jr., ladies and gentlemen, our unofficial professional season GT3 winner in FMA.
Okay, well, we've got the points coming in. Matt Mars has just told me he's sending them over shortly, so we'll wait till we get the other two classes officially, but I'm pretty sure we already know how that's going to boil out with Dustin Wells taking the AM side. But let's bring in we don't have Travis Roberto, so let's catch up with Alex Bahari, who had his first race last week. Unfortunately got the penalty at the end to negate that win, but came back this week, put it on pole. A couple incidents there early on, but you worked your way back up into second place. Talk us through your race, Alex.
Yeah, I had that little run-in with Roberto at the start, but after that, I was like determined to just fight back up. So I was just putting down my craziest laps best I could.
Were you a little worried there after that second incident when you fell back to about mid pack that you weren't going to be able to get yourself back up to the top, but that extra 15 minutes allowed you enough time to get there? But what were you thinking at that point in time? Was just put your head down, put in some quick laps, or did you have a little bit of the red mist going?
Once I like got back into my rhythm, like after that first lap or first 2 laps, like I knew I had a good shot of getting back up there if I just kept hitting my marks. Because qualifying was the fast I had gone around the track, and by that point I was like, all right, I figured it out. So I was just running straight qualifying laps the entire time, and just trying to keep my nose clean around Brock and Marshall, that way I didn't mess them up.
Love to see it. Are we going to see you back next season?
Yes, sir.
Excellent stuff. Well, we'll let you go get ready for next season, Alex. Congrats on bringing home a podium position. This one's going to stick, though. I watched specifically to make sure you didn't go before the green. So this one will stick. This one will stick for you. So congrats on that second place finish, and we'll see you back next season. Take care.
Sounds good. Thank you very much.
So that was our second place finisher, Alex Bahari. Okay, we have the official points results in here now. Marshall Crocker Jr. takes the Pro Championship. Brock Morris is going to come home second place. So we'll bring in our second place Pro finisher, Brock Morris. Brock, heck of a season for you. Marshall and you were battling week in, week out. Seemed like each week a different one of you was at the top of the championship standings. A little bit of different pit strategy at the end. Looks like maybe Marshall's 4 tires got you. Is that what the difference was from you winning the championship here this evening?
I don't think, maybe position on track tonight. I don't think that was the difference in the championship. No, unfortunately. So yeah, just hats off to him. We had an awesome season together. It was super fun racing. But yeah, just needed a little bit more pace tonight. And just unfortunate couldn't get the job done. So, but looking forward to next season.
It looked like the car was a little bit of a handful to drive the last 10 minutes. Did you were you dealing with a little bit of attrition on the tires, or was it just you were just pushing that hard to try and get back ahead around Marshall?
I think it was a bit of attrition on the tires, and just the fact that the Corvette is a pretty lively car. Wasn't liking the hour on the tires that we just put on it, but yeah, once I saw Marshall coming up, and I was thinking, it would be a real shame if something was to happen, so I didn't fight him super hard when he got up, just kind of let him go. It wasn't going to be the difference in the championship. So, but yeah, overall pretty fun season.
It was a lot of fun watching you guys battle week in, week out. It was great to see. We love to see the sportsmanship. So before we let you go here, Brock, give us your shout outs to all the millions and millions of people watching at home cheering you on.
Absolutely. I mean, it's billions, maybe trillions. Got to thank Juicy Spider Studios, High Side Podcast. They're awesome. Got to thank Kettering University, Kettering Esports, FMA for putting it on. I know it was a risk to go to the divisions, but we were just talking about in the interview room how much that actually paid off and how fun that made this season for everybody. And then got to hand it to you guys. I mean, I go back and I try to watch every broadcast back if I've got time for it. And every single time, it's just the best quality all the way through. So got to thank you guys. So,
well, we appreciate that, Brock. And I know it's a little up in the air whether you're back next season or not, but if we see you back on track, best of luck. And if not, we'll see you when you get back on track. So take care.
All right. Thank you, guys.
That was our second place finisher in the pro class for the season. Brock Morris. Doesn't look like Alex Jacobson is in the waiting room, as I do have confirmation. He has, where'd it go? He has came home and finished third in the championship. So nice run for him after getting promoted from the Pro-Am class, Rich. But our Pro-Am winner is Fernando Rosario, and he is in the booth catching up with Richard Swindells.
Well, congratulations, Fernando. No big surprise, but you really solidified it tonight with a solid performance.
Thank you.
I know we were running a little late, and it didn't seem to affect your driving. You got a solid race tonight, and could you have asked for any better this season?
I couldn't. Today I just wanted to take it easy. I didn't get much practice this week, so I kind of picked the car maybe 2 hours before practice. So I just wanted to take it easy. I'm happy with the results.
Well, the Ferrari is usually a safe choice. It may not be the fastest in all circumstances, but it's usually pretty well balanced. And you're driving this evening, especially when you consider the limited practice time. It's kind of the way it went all season long for you. A little further back than we normally see you in the pack, but we saw you battling right up there, top 5 overall quite often this season. Are we going to see you back next season, Fernando?
Yes, but unfortunately, I'll probably miss the first 2 races because I'll be on vacation, but I'll be back.
Well, vacation is imperative. You got to rest up to get ready to compete for the rest of the season. You've certainly done a great job, and it's been a pleasure watching you. Anybody you'd like to give a shout out or thanks to?
Shout out to my team. We got the team champ today as well, so
there you go.
Yep.
I was waiting for the official word, but Rob kind of thought you had it, and I wasn't sure. So
first.
There you go. That's the announcement we need to hear, folks. If you're going to hear the announcement, let's hear it from the GT3 Pro-Am champion, Fernando Rosario. Congratulations, Fernando. We will see you next week, starting in week 3, and enjoy your vacation.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That was Fernando, the spoiler alert, Rosario on that one, Rich. But let's bring in our second place finisher in the Pro-Am class for the
8
season.
pairs of them.
He's also the gentleman that brought us on board seasons ago, one of the admins, Matt Mars. Matt, nice rebound after last week's showing at Long Beach. You didn't put it on the pole, but you brought it home, and you know what? You brought home second place in the class for the season.
Yeah, it was a great race. Congrats to Marshall, Brock, Alex. Congrats to Fernando. I mean, that was a great run for him, man. I mean, untouchable. I knew coming into this one it was sewed up for him, so I was racing for second with Bronco going to be out this week, but put in quite a bit of practice and still just couldn't get there, pace wise to compete for the win. But happy with second, happy with the way the season turned out, and honestly, it was a lot better season than I ever expected it to be. And
most improved driver.
I said I haven't seen all I called them the superlatives or whatever. That's what they used to call them in school. I haven't seen all of those yet, so I didn't know who got what, and so I'm honored for that. Undoubtedly, man, when I did the points trying to figure out how we were going to place people in different divisions this year, and because this divisions deal was kind of my idea as well, and I went when my wife was in the hospital having her heart surgery. I sat over on the little couch in her room with my laptop out while she slept, and I did just broke down every single race from FMA from start to finish, because iRating's not really a good indicator of what a guy actually is. And when I looked at the totals, I was the 3rd lowest FMA rated driver in the league, and so yeah, I'm very pleased with the turnaround, and I guess practice makes perfect. I've put in a lot of time, and I guess it's starting to show a little, but I still got a long way to go to ever compete with the likes of these pros, but maybe we'll compete for the Pro-Am title next season. I see it, Nora. My daughter's in here.
That's the next step. Come back, win that Pro-Am championship. But we talked about it during the broadcast here. Season probably didn't start the way you wanted it, but the back half of the season, you really started to put things together and start to make that charge up towards the front. But we expect to see you battling up at the sharp end all next season. And we mentioned that new sponsor next season too as well for the GT3 Championship, taking over for you and Mars Hardwood. So nice to see that expanding. And any drivers who are potentially looking to join the league, where can they find out a little more information?
Yeah, of course, the link is in the broadcast, or you can go to www.racefma.com. That'll get you the Discord link. Yeah, I'm really happy. The Jeremy Eshelman and his family business, the Alpha Reinforcing Services, decided to come on and be the title sponsor and relieve a little bit of that burden on my shoulders from the last few seasons. And it was a very welcomed, and give them opportunity to pick a few races and name the series and get their logo out there every week. And that's one of the, being a free league, that's we solely depend on stuff like that, the generous donors and league members helping step up and make all this possible. I mean, in my opinion, we've got the best broadcast crew that you can ask for, and we're going to figure out ways to keep that going one way or another. And these guys stepped up and definitely helped out when we needed it here. So, and once again, thank you guys, as always, for a wonderful season. And we've been real pleased with the product. And man, if you're listening and thinking about who you want to broadcast your series, definitely look up these guys, because they are top notch.
Check's in the mail, Matt Mars. Check is in the mail.
Yeah, well, I gotta get yours for next season too. So, yeah,
we appreciate all the kind words. But before we let you go, Matt, any shout outs you want to give other than those to friends or family cheering on?
Yeah, I want to shout out the league, of course, like always, and shout out to our champions and to all the guys that made this such a wonderful season. I mean, this blew me away at how well everything went and how close. I mean, to have 3 of the 4 championships come down to the final race and finish within, the team championship being the largest of any of those 2, to have that happen, I just can't thank the guys enough for putting on such a show and racing so cleanly. Thank you guys for an awesome broadcast, and of course, thanks to my wife and my kids, my snuggie right here, who always got to be by daddy's side. But.
Hey, Matt, can I just jump in here? It's Richard here. I just want to jump in for a second. Yeah. Sorry, Rob. I just wanted to say thank you for bringing us on, and thank you for all you do for this league. I know you work extra hard on trying to make the league the best it can be for all the racers, and you've done a tremendous job. So hats off on your 2nd place. We look forward to what happens next season.
Thank you, buddy. I really appreciate it, and it's my pleasure. Love every minute of it.
There was Matt Mars, our 2nd place finisher in the Pro-Am class, not only in the race, but in the season. So hats off to him. We don't have our 3rd place championship finisher, Jay Davis, in chat, but we'll make note of him. He's going to come home in 3rd place. Let's head over to the AM class, where Dustin Wells, driver who had a commanding lead through the first half of the season, kind of faltered at midpoint, but got things wrapped back together through the back end of the season. He's caught up with Richard Swindells.
Hey, congratulations, Dustin. You started strong, you finished strong.
Yes, sir.
You probably don't know it, but it was not just a points championship battle between you and Alex. It was a battle between the Big Cheese and Steve-O the Cat, and the Big Cheese won this one. Solid season. And how'd that go for you? Lots of prep. I'm assuming you really wanted to nail this down. How did it all go down for you here tonight?
Pretty much, bro. Just putting in the practice. Looking forward to the day. Pretty much as soon as one race ends, I start practicing for the next track. Yeah. Just always, like I say, just patience and learn to pick my fight.
Yeah, you learned to pick your fight, and you certainly did. I mean, I'm not sure how many victories you had this season. I'm sure you may know, but it was certainly a bunch, and a little bit of troubles in the mid part of the season, but you finished strong, and double points night tonight. That's what mattered. You kept out of trouble, and the Lambo did you well tonight.
It sure did. One thing that does suck is my livery didn't show for the second week in a row, man. I had a PAF livery, dog. I was so
Oh,
upset
man.
to see that.
You know, Robin and I figured it, and I made a comment earlier in the race that ever since you went to the plain Jane iRacing livery, you started getting performance again. But hopefully we get that ironed out for next season. Will we see you next season?
Oh, you know it. Come on now.
Oh, right on. Well, I look forward to seeing what happens next season, Dustin. It's been a pleasure watching you race. Always exciting. I got to hear the shout-outs tonight. Let's hear who you got to thank for this wonderful season.
Alrighty, so I got a lot, actually. I'm going to start off with my brother, the nephews, my mother. Hi, Mom. I did it.
Yeah, they're all in the chat.
My boy, Ian, I appreciate you, bro. That is that's someone who really stuck with me and kind of showed me the things that I learned within iRacing. And believe it or not, the Lambo's Colors was our old team. So, not done just yet. You know, the most of all, Aaron and the Big Cheese.
There we go.
I'm going to go ahead and pick him another foosball, hand Yakko some cheese as I'm doing it right now. We're just chilling, bro. We're also going to Disney World.
Oh, awesome. There you go.
But yeah.
You're gonna get on a Wheaties box too, and do it all.
Let me tell you, that dog will mess it all up, bro. You put some food in front of them, it's over. They don't call him the Big Cheese for nothing.
Well, Dustin, you've been entertaining. It's been a pleasure watching you race. Love your interviews. We'll see you next season, and congratulations.
Hey, thank you guys. I will see you next time. Time to go back to back.
There you go.
It was our AM champ, Dustin Wells. Always a fun interview. But let's bring in our second place driver in the AM championship, also second place in the race tonight, Alex Berger. Alex, heck of a season for you, and we had some fans in the chat there cheering you on. But I think the cat Stebo, was more of the star of the show.
Old Stebo. I luckily I moved out back in October, had a cat at home, and I was like, I need a cat, and went and adopted him. And they his name's Steve technically, but these boys have named him Stebow because he kind of looks like a cow, and he's big. He's on a diet plan since I got him, but yeah, he's kind of the mascot. It's where he sits every race since I started FMA. This is where he's been.
All right,
sits here.
We got to find out, Alex, because from this camera angle, it looks like Stebow I don't know if he's looking out a window. It looks like there's a TV screen or computer screen or something there. Maybe it's just a reflection, but from here in the camera, it looks like he's sitting there watching TV.
It's like the neighbor's basement, like their lights on, but he's got a good road out here, and there's usually birds. He's got a bird feeder out there, and that's what he's really looking at, but he just likes looking outside.
Excellent stuff. We love to see the pets and the animals. But let's talk about your season. You come home second in the race here tonight, brings home second in the AM class. At the start of the season, did you have envisions of bringing home the AM championship, or was it just you're just going to go out there, put in the laps, put in the time, and see where it all worked itself out?
No, when I started, it was more just like, hey, let's just try and see what I can do in AM. It was my first time running league, and I was just like, let's just see where it goes. I think first race I got third, had some rough parts in the middle of the season, and then I actually got some coaching sessions, and from there that's when I started closing the distance. But no, I did a lot better than I thought I ever would.
Well, we loved watching the season unfold for you. Do you have plans coming back next season? And do you have a car picked out potentially?
I definitely will be back next season. I might miss a few more races just because it's summer. It's finally nice here. We'll see. I think I might just stick with the Porsche. I like it. I gotta stick with it.
Well, you had an excellent season there, Alex. Why don't you go ahead and give us the shoutouts to I'm going to say your millions and millions of fans in the chat cheering you on.
Yeah, big shout out to all the boys that showed up from a different game I play. It's all my friends. Shout out to Austin, who's in the chat. That's the guy that got me into iRacing. Also, shout out to Dustin. He was flying tonight. I just didn't have the pace to keep up. Yeah, that's really it. Shout out to Steve.
Excellent stuff. Well, best of luck
yeah.
Best of luck next season, Alex, and I suspect we'll see you battling for another championship. So take care until we see you again.
Yep, I'll see you guys.
So there we go. That was Alex Berger, our second place finisher in the AM class for the season. And then looks like Cody Deek was our final podium finisher in the AM championship. But we got a couple of drivers left here in the booth to chat with who had some nice finishes this season, but didn't quite get the championship podiums. But Kyle Mavis brought it home second in Pro-Am class here tonight at the race. He's caught up with Richard Swindells.
Hey, Kyle, congratulations. Up 12 positions from where you started. You had a solid race to finish the season.
Yeah, we kind of wish we hadn't picked up the EOL there from the last event there, but totally understand why it happened. I expected it even before this event ever started, or even before the last race ended. But tried to put up a good fight tonight, try to get some points for the team. We came up just a little bit short in the team championship, but we gave it our all.
Yeah, I mean, Iron Horse Motorsports, you and Marshall and I'm not sure who else.
We've got Jacob Williams and then Anthony Barranco.
Jacob Williams, there we go. Yeah, and Anthony is not here this evening. My screen is just kind of disappearing because we're getting late into the night, and it's saying that's enough. But solid team effort. You had some solid races, some solid finishes. The Mustang treated you well, and you're on fire tonight, trying to get a little bit of make up for the AOL penalty, as you say. Tough track to pass on, but you managed to do it.
Yeah, I got caught up there about midway through the first stint before the pit stop. Lost some time. Team and I were talking and decided to go with a tire change to try and push to the end. Did some fuel saving and just ended up about 2 seconds short of being able to sneak up another position. But it is what it is. Had a blast. Looking forward to getting the next season's kick started here.
Well, that answers that question. We will see you next season, I'm assuming, then. And come back in the Mustang?
Well, we got the Iron Horse boys are going to ride again, so we're looking forward to coming back next season.
Well, that's great, Kyle. Congratulations. You've had a solid season, a great result tonight. Anybody you'd like to thank or shout out?
I just want to thank you guys for the broadcast. It's amazing. I'm literally waiting to jump off here and watch it back. Maybe it's 11:54. We may watch that tomorrow. But no, the team, the organization here, the wife and my daughter for putting up with me doing this dumb stuff late at night. I just want to thank everybody. It's a great opportunity, a great bit of fun, and look forward to doing it again next season.
Yeah, and we're taking a look at on the broadcast right now of your car and the AARP. Got to thank them, Kyle. Got to thank them for helping this old man out. So Kyle Mavis is third place. Go ahead, Kyle.
No, I say it's them keeping me going, and then Harbor Freight keeping the car going. So that's how we keep her on there.
There you go. Kyle Mavis, third place tonight. We'll see him next season. Part of Team Iron Horse Motorsports.
Thanks, guys.
So we'll see Kyle Mavis back again next season with his Iron Horse Motorsports compatriots. But to wrap up the interviews here tonight, we'll bring in our third place finisher in AM class, Sasha Andrick. Sasha, you had a heck of a battle there with yourself and Dustin Wells for the top spot in AM for seemed like a good half of the race there, but kind of fell by the wayside, brought it home in third place. You joined the season late. Are we going to see you back next season to put in a full schedule of races?
Yeah, Dustin and I went at it. I mean, I get it. It's a tough track to pass, and I am somewhat known for my defense, as Dustin learned. He had everything to play for. Like you said, I joined kind of late, so the result itself for me was just bragging rights. He was fighting for the championship. these things happen. A little bit of contact. He sent me sideways. He got the better of that deal. Ended up clutching the champion. I mean, good on him. Like I said, no. In a moment, I was a little heated, but looking back, no hard feelings, no nothing. These things happen. So,
are we going to see you back next season to put in a full schedule of races?
That is certainly the plan. I did join late. I think I made somewhat of a mark and shown what I can or can't do. I believe the decision came to move me up to the Pro-Am, so we will see how's that going to work out. It's a tough field up and down, really. So up until the incident, Dustin and I were mingling nicely with the Pro-Am, so I believe he's going to get promoted as well.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see who gets shuffled around from one class to the other, but it seems like most of the drivers were slotted almost perfectly this season. And as the season grows and the league grows and progresses, there's always room for movement. But Catalonia, is it a track you find comfortable to drive at? I know it's a track that a lot of people either kind of love or hate, especially with the last chicane layout.
I am a fan of Catalonia, not the chicane layout, the regular Grand Prix or the modern Grand Prix layout. Once I loaded up to practice and saw there was a chicane, I honestly contemplated as well, like, okay, we're not going to be doing this. But I showed up and we sent it from there, and it is what it is. I'm comfortable. It's a tough track to pass. It's also difficult to defend, but I think the defending person has the advantage because it's so wide, so you can position your car in a way where you put the guy behind you at a disadvantage.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't have a whole lot of overtaking opportunities on it. But before we let you go here, Sasha, anybody you want to give a shout out to cheering you at home or helping you find that pace week in, week out?
Well, I do want to give a shout out to my family that's sound asleep by now. You guys at Racer Nexus, I love rewatching this after the adrenaline comes down and everything. Then, see the things that you haven't seen because you only have one point of view. Also, shout out to the whole crew at FMA, really. I joined a couple of weeks ago, and it's been getting better and better. Yeah, brought a couple of drivers myself, so we're reinforcing it. We're trying to get better.
Great stuff. Form up a team next season, and maybe you can head off the team championship too as well. But best of luck heading forward, Sasha, and I expect we'll probably be talking to you again at the sharp end of the field next season.
Thank you so much. You guys have a wonderful evening.
Take care. Okay, Rich, that's going to wrap things up here at Circuit de Catalunya, Barcelona. Heck of a season. I've had a look at the schedule for next season. It looks like some more great tracks on tap again for next season, and should be interesting. So again, yeah, if you're out there watching, you want to join the league, you can find the league Discord link in the description of the video. Free league to join. They do take donations to help cover the costs for setting up the races, the practice sessions throughout the week, and covering broadcasts. But that's going to pretty much do it for us here for Racers Nexus. I'm Rob Campbell. In the booth with me, Richard Swindells, who again has caught every single race here on Racers Nexus that Freedom Motorsports GT3 has been a part of. Congrats to all of our season winners as well. Sorry, I should probably mention Fernando Rosario gave us the spoiler on the teams. FR Racing took the championship there over Iron Horse Motorsports and Threshold Motorsports. About 12 and 11 points respectively between those positions. So hats off to all our winners. Marshall Crocker Jr., Fernando Rosario, and Dustin Wells, our class champions. We'll catch you back in a few weeks here. This is Racer Nexus. Bye for now.